Okay, let's talk about episode 2 of Payback, the series. So, anyways, the episode starts off with us seeing Bank, who obviously is in a celebrity state that goes by a different name, but we're not ready to talk about the different name yet. Anyways, this is the time when Bank and Sun are in a relationship, and Sun is helping Bank do like a video resume for the job that he wants, which is become an actor. So far, he's doing good, Bank is, but the person that's supposed to help him, which is Son, he's not really much of an actor, and it's bland, and apparently it's supposed to be a couple type of thing that they're going through, but Bank is saying that Son is not even sounding convincing enough for him to really act it out. So he's like, dude, just make it sound feminine, like Bank, shut up. Just shut up. You get what you get. Then we see Kong Join celebrating his daughter's birthday. You know, the agent guy that gave the business card to Son. Yeah, him. Then while Conjon was having his midnight snack of ramen, he got a call. Now, he doesn't know the number because in his mind he thinks it's a scamming number or someone's about to scam him. But yet something within him told him to answer. It's one of those gut feelings that he decided to answer. And the person on the line is Sun, and Sun basically just said, hey, you're the guy that gave me the card. Remember the person that gave me the business card? Yeah, I'm ready to be an actor. I'm telling you, Kajon didn't even care who it was. He was ready because it's a job that he wanted. Considering, well, Bank kind of disowned him as his manager, so he's kind of hopeless at this point. In my opinion, it was the best news he had. The next day, Son got to Dream Entertainment and walked up to an office who he assumed that's his right office because it is the right office. He met Shogun's character whose name is Sky. He said he wanted to meet Kajon, and of course Sky already knew where Kajon is because he's literally outside. So he told Kajon that someone came for him, and when Kajon looked, he was ecstatic because it's the person he wanted to meet. When they got inside, Son analyzed the office, and the first photo he saw, or the poster he saw, as Bank. But he doesn't go by the name Bank anymore. Okay, so I think it's important to tell you about Shogun's character. His character's name is Sky. Yes, it's the same name as Son's little brother. So when John called Sky's name, he immediately looked because, remember, his little brother's name is Sky. Literally how Sky acts right now is literally how Son's little brother acts. He loves sweet stuff. He acts cute. All that stuff. But here's the thing. Sky called Son Peace Son. But he doesn't like when he calls him Peace Son. Makes him look like they're related or they're close. And he doesn't like that. Remember, because of Bang, Son has a big wall up, so he's not going to be ready to open up his whole entire life to somebody that he doesn't know. Anyways, they got to know each other, and Kajon said that one day it could be big. Son asked Kajon, what exactly did he see in him to be saying that they can be like, an actor. Kajon said even though he doesn't have much people around him, he has a eyes of a talent to tell like who he can see can be big. Then Son asks, what about the guy on the poster? Both Sky and Kajon said Sonny is a good actor, and Son said, can he be better than that person? And Sky said he's a big talented actor. I'm not saying it's impossible, but Sonny is a good actor. Now let's cut to the chase. Son looked at them and like, I don't know no Sonny, I know Bank. But when Kajon looked at them, he's like, wait, you know his old name? How close, do you know him? Son said, I know of a Bank. And he went straight to the point, like, I'm not here to do no acting. I'm here for revenge. Everyone was silent, like, you're here for revenge. Immediately, I clocked it. I'm like, dude, I feel like I've lost touch in the manhwa, Because I don't think in the manhwa he mentioned it to the manager guy and the other guy. I know the CEO J know in the manhwa. I don't remember reading that these two knew about the revenge. So I'm kind of confused. Now, here's the thing. Even though Kajoran says he has talent in eyes and seeing talented people, it is true that he saw talent. But also, you can see that Sun doesn't have like a acting background, but nonetheless, you can see that Sun can go places. You just need a couple training. But here's the problem. The fact that Sun said he's only here for revenge is throwing the entire thing off because now Kajani's question is his decision with Sun. And he told Sun to go and rest and think it through because he's not about to really let Sun go into the entertainment industry purely because of revenge. That's not what he wanted. Also, he warned Sun that he needs to keep his face freshly out of injury. Because when you're in entertainment business, modeling, anything at all, the face is what sells. Depending on what you're doing, it sells. You can cover your body depending if you're modeling, then no, you have to make sure there is no bruise, no tattoo. Nowadays, people don't really care with a tattoo, but still, it depends on what type of tattoo. But at the same time, they care about image. So if Sun can stay out of fights and all that stuff, that would be cool on his conquest of revenge or whatever. Anyways, then we have Bank. By the way, Bank's celebrity name is Sunny. But just like Sun, I will not refer him to Sunny. I'm going to call him Bank because that's how I know him as and that's what we're going to stick with. So Bank went to to the managing company that he works for because Bank is not working for Kajan anymore. He left him to go to a different company. Here's the thing though. He's with his manager or whatever talent agency people and he's talking to that person and he's saying that he wants like another role, something to make him outstanding and stuff like that. And the reason he left Kajarn is because he claims that Kajarn scammed him for money. And the other guy is like, how do you know he scammed him? What did he do? Apparently, on the contract, he was supposed to get this amount of money and he didn't get that money. He get less than that. The man looked at Bank and is like, you can't say that in public. That's stupid. How would you say that you're supposed to get money? Hear me out here. I'm not good at contract money and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure that when you sign a contract, if you're supposed to get like 50,000, yeah, the 50,000 is within you. But you don't get exactly 50,000 because you work with a lot of teams. Those people get a cut out of those money and whatever left or whatever you're supposed to be get after that, that's you. Not exactly. Or didn't you read the fine prints? Or maybe that's how it works. I don't freaking know. But I'm just saying if you're working with a team, they get paid too. Because where the hell do they get the money from? Anyways, he's sure that's what happened. So the guy's like, okay, I'm going to try to look into it. But for now, stick with the story. And then when he's about to leave, the guy's like, oh, before you go, I have a client for you. You need to, whatever with him. And then that's it. Here's the thing. I've read the manhwa. And Bank's character should be a slut. Because that's what he is. He does anything and everything for money. Because he wants to get to higher places. And trust me, he would do the Glock 3000 on any man just to get where he's going. Trust me. So if that's going to happen with his character, you disgust me. Okay, so we're at the rooftop and Sun is thinking about his life choices and what he went through with Bank and how he's going to come up with the ultimate revenge to get to Bank. Here's the thing though. Remember when Sun actually didn't get enough money to help with his mother because Bank stole all the money out of his bank account because he was too far down blind in love to give Bank the access everything to his bank account. So he went to the loan shark to borrow all those money. Thank goodness he worked off all the odd job just to pay off the bank. The loan shark. Even though in the manhwa, I don't think he did pay off all the loan shark. or maybe I'm not remembering right. I do know somebody. I do know Jay ended up being like his debtor or something. He had to hold him or something like that. But anyways, we're here and we're thinking about what next to do until Jay shows up. Bear in mind, Sun doesn't know who Jay is or his name. Anyways, when Jay saw Sun at the rooftop, he initially thinks that Sun planned this to get to him, and he started fighting Sun, which is something that Sun shouldn't have done because Jay aimed for the face, the one thing that he promised Kajon he would not injure. And then while he's there, he's like, did you purposely come towards me to get close to me? Sun is like, bitch, I don't know who you are. And he's like, are you serious? You really don't know who I am? He's like, no. All I know is that the time that I saw you, I initially really wanted a cigarette, and you had cigarette, and you didn't want to give it to me until I bought one. He literally, by the way, Jay calls Sun by a 2-baht, even though technically he literally throw a 3-baht, but the third one went down the drain. So he thought, he end up giving 2 bahts. But in the manhwa, I think it's named Tuwan or something. Again, Jay didn't believe Sun because he thinks that Sun is getting closer to him because, let's be honest, Jay always get approached by all people who wants to take advantage of his higher ups abilities. But when Sun got a call, Jay took the phone. He didn't even let Sun took the phone. And I don't know how Sun ended up getting beaten down by homeboy here because, whatever. Anyways, he put the phone on speaker. It was Kajon on the speaker. And Kajon is like, he's trying to rethink the decision that Sun made. And he doesn't want to get involved in Sun's revenge plot. Because even though he wants revenge, he really wants Sun to take on the career path because he sees something in Sun. So Kajon says, if you could just put the revenge aside, then maybe we can get things over with. He didn't even finish speaking and Jay just hung the phone up. And he got interested. I'm like, okay, so this is about revenge. On who? There, yeah, no, you ain't getting that answer. So Sun just overpowered him a little bit and took his phone and walked away and called, well, technically, Jay, you a bitch for that one. But I get why you did what you did. Now it's the next day, and Kajon is devastated because Sun showed up with bruises all over his face, which Kajon begged Sun not to get involved in any fights, which, Sun was literally avoiding that would happen. But here's the thing. There's an audition coming up in 2 days, 2 freaking days. And Sun has bruises all over his face. At this point, will makeup even help cover it up? Anyways, besides from that, Sun looked at Kajon and asked Kajon if he knows any tall, dark, deep voiced man that works in accounting, because when Jay showed up, Jay said he worked in this building as part of the accounting financial part. But here's the thing, Kajon said there's many men working there, but he doesn't get involved in the accounting managing part because, he doesn't like anyone there. So he can't really help Sun with that information. So anyways, Sky and Sun went to a cafe to drink, and Sky said he doesn't need to put it all to head, but he does really want Sun to get into the acting business because even he sees that Sun has potential, even though, he needs a 1 or 2 training. Here's the thing though. Sky also mentioned that he's into the acting thing, but he's not confident enough to be going into acting and standing in front of people or in front of camera because he gets shy. But he only will do plays and all that stuff, just side jobs. He definitely not confident enough as much as everyone else, but he would love to maybe make Kajon proud in certain part of the roles. I think maybe Homeboy don't know, but I read the manhwa and he definitely achieved what he thought he couldn't achieve, but that's way in the future. Okay, so they're walking back, and Sky saw, well, they both saw Bang pull up in a nice car, and Sky said that that car kind of similar, looked exactly like a big brand, big top star actor. And Sky mentioned that Bang is the type of person that would do anything to copy off a big star to overpower them. He would do anything, like he would act just like them, buy the same stuff, so he himself can replace that person. Now that they see that the person he is trying to replace is a person named Peng Nyong, a superstar, and we all know that's exactly where he's aiming for. I'm telling you, Bank be doing a lot of stuff. I don't know if you have any sugar daddy, because if he's that big, ain't big in my eyes. But regardless of that, seeing Bang, Sun is more determined more than ever to get his revenge. Because remember, Bang is the reason his mother and his brother is all gone. So he needs to come up with a big revenge. Remember, Sun ain't good at acting to save his entire self. So he needs to come up with a way to make sure that he gets into the acting business so he can get closer to Bang so he can get his revenge. Okay, so Sun went home and he's going over the video that he did with Bank. You know, the first part of the episode when we saw Bank doing rehearsal with Sun in the background, helping him doing a play. That's the exact video that he's looking, because the video is basically filmed on his phone. So while watching, he can tell by the way he was acting with Bank, yeah, he ain't good. But he needs to get good so he can get closer to the Bank. We don't know how that's going to work out, but we need to actually improve our acting skills. Anyway, it is the day of the auditions, and it is almost Sun's turn to go up. But Kajan came to try to use makeup to hide all those bruises on his face. Remember, entertainment business, they don't play about their image. Anyways, somehow Sun convinced Kajan to basically trust him in what he's about to do, and he doesn't want to hide his blemishes or the bruises, which is going to cause a problem, but it will also save him. You'll get what I mean. Anyways, Sun got into the audition room, big as hell, empty too. And they told him to look into the camera and introduce himself. But there's a problem. When he introduced himself, one of the judges noticed some flaw. The judge noticed immediately the bruises on Sun's face and told Sun that he doesn't want him to audition, and there's importance when it comes to face and the beauty, and that's pretty much it. Bear in mind, the only thing Sun got out of his mouth was his name, so he didn't get a chance to even audition right. But one of the other judges decided to give Sun a chance because maybe he does have something that we haven't seen, and this could be his big shot. So he got him to do whatever it is he's done. But he kind of paused. He hasn't done anything. And Sun remembered clearly that Kajan said to just be himself, which, to be honest, himself got him even more of a problem with the judges because the judges were scared. Anyway, Sun took out his knife and started acting like a bad boy loan shark and literally attacked, not really, well, yeah, kind of attacked the judges, which got the judges to be super scared because now they don't want Sun in here. Sun ain't allowed in here. But here's the thing. While Sun is doing that, the camera is rolling. The camera was technically live. And the person that was watching is Jay. See, Sun doesn't know Jay is the CEO of the Dream Entertainment that he's filming or auditioned to. And Jay likes what he sees. He definitely likes what he sees, especially the fact that he met him on the rooftop. He doesn't know his name, but he knows one thing. He was eager to see how well Sun would have done. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it definitely proved to him that he really needs to be closer to this Sun person. Anyways, when Sun threatened, because that's basically what the judge felt, like Jay was threatening them with the knife and their life, The judge asked for security to come get Son out. When Kajan hears the commotion, he came in, help them to pull off Son with the knife and apologize to them. Son knows that this little thing is not going anywhere, so he reverted to a sad acting. The very sad acting that he went to is the same thing that he helped the bank with. Immediately, one of the judge really recognized what he was doing and say, these are the lines from that thing that Son did. Sonny, or Bank as we call him. So immediately they said, hey, this is a good thing. But the one of the judges that noticed the bruise didn't like it, because if it was part of the improvisation as what Son was doing, he should have told them ahead of time instead of threatening them. Seeing how the situation was going, Jay personally called one of the judges to give Son a chance. Now, bear in mind, it didn't show that Jay was the one called, but we kind of guessed he was the only one that has the upper hand to do such things. So the judge decided to give Son a chance. The judge gave Son 3 months to improve in his acting and everything that he does. If he improves, then we can talk about permanent contract and, building a whole, image for him. But if he doesn't by the 3 months, he's out of here. I'm telling you, poor Son, he doesn't even know that he has connections in high places. But anyways, they left with success. But before they leave, Son did tell one of the judges that even though it was acting, 1 or 2 lines were all true. He was threatening for money and all that stuff. So, beware, because he might know where you live. Well, it's cause for a celebration. Now, even though he only got 3 months to improve his acting skills, it doesn't sound like a lot. Well, it kind of sounds like a lot, but it's not really a lot. He just needs to improve by 3 months. So he has like a temporary contract for now. But it's enough to make everyone happy because he didn't disappoint. So that's cool. That's great. 3 months. Remember, our goal is to get revenge. Even though we kind of narrowed down our goal is to get revenge. That's it. So by 3 months, homeboy better be good at his acting. Anyways, while they were out about to go to a restaurant to celebrate, there comes Bank. And Son heard Bank, so he didn't come out of the office. So Son couldn't. So he doesn't want Bank to see him. But anyways, Bank started being cocky and talking about Kajon is a scammer and he's a manager that scams people. But we get to hear Kajon's side of the story. Apparently, Kajon never scammed him, which is true. He didn't scam him. See, the person that Bank wanted to work with and, go party with, because when you're a celebrity, there are going to be some sort of people who wants to hang out with you and just trying to make business with you. But the people that wanted to make business with Bank at the time when Kajon was his manager, Kajon declined it because those people are the type of people who wants to do dirty stuff. At the time, Kajon sees through these dirty tricks and told Bank that these people are not good people and it's not all money are good money, and the money that was about to flow to Bank were people who just wants to do shady stuff to Bank. Bank didn't believe that. Bank saw that he could have made big money, but he didn't care. Sorry for the slam in the background. But anyways, because of that, he called Kajon a scammer. I don't get it though. Kajon was helping you, and because of that, you literally brandish him off as a scammer. I ain't gonna lie, you left good for unsure, so now Son is with a good person. You are gonna regret it later on down the road. Now, Sky could not stand there listening to Bank disgracing his P like that. So he's basically told this Bank that he's a terrible person and he's glad that they're not in their team. Bank, however, looked at Sky and basically told and shouted out his weakness. Remember, they were both all in the company before Bank left. Bank knows Sky's weakness and spilled it out in front of him. We are about to get fight, I ain't gonna lie to you. But Kajon's like, no, it's not worth it. Let's go. And, And Sky revealed that they did find someone. Now, Bank wanted to see who this person was, but he didn't bother because he knows that maybe this person is not as great as he is. So he walked away. Dude, if you would have stayed and going into his office, maybe you would have been shocked to find out your ex-boyfriend is the person that is going to go up against you and get revenge. But we're in episode 3. We don't want to... No, sorry. We're in episode 2. What the hell? We're in episode 2, so we don't want to get that in our head. Why the hell was I thinking about 3 so fast? Anyways, Sun wasn't about to let Bank go easily because he knows even when he was in a relationship, there were so many red flags that he didn't even look because he was blinded by love. So now he followed Bank up to the rooftop and he heard Bank on the phone talking to someone saying that Kajan had someone joining in his group and he want that person to investigate who that person is. Here's the thing. Sun, he knows what Bank is like, so he wants to get a good detail of what he's going to do so he can come up with a plan what he's going to do next. But he almost got caught because his phone rang. I'm assuming it's Kajan trying to tell him to come down so they can go to the restaurant. But his phone was not on silence. So Bank was this close to look who it was because he ain't about to let nobody hear his plan of what to do. Anyways, the episode ends off here where Bank was this close to seeing around the corner that it was Sun, but when Jay walked out, he didn't want Bank to see Sun. Oh no, remember, Sun is very interesting to Jay and he doesn't want to lose this interest. It's too fast into this whole entire thing. Besides, I think Sun was ready to fight Bank if he faced him just right now, but that would jeopardize the entire revenge plot. We don't want that to happen just yet. It ended like this. I already know what's gonna happen. I think Bank already know who this guy is. A lot of people trying to get through in Jay's pants and money and basically on his side so they can all get leverage, especially Bank here. But this is just episode 2 and that's just a little spoiler that I'm going to give to you. Other from that, yeah, I think this is next episode. Jay will finally figure out who Sun wants to get revenge on, and trust me, he's going to help. Because, again, Sun is very interested to Jay, and Jay want this interest to go further down the line. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, that is it. I also must remember, I do have a Patreon where I will put the early access of all my recaps. You can catch it there. But if you're catching it on my YouTube channel, it will be months late, probably when the drama itself ended, because I have many shows that I need to put up before these. So when you're watching Payback series will be on a Friday. And after that, on a Saturday, I would be putting out Ticket to Heaven. But this is going to be after when I put out Only Friends Dream On and Love You Teacher. After those episodes are done, that's when you're seeing it. So it's months away. But again, I'll put my link in the description on my Patreon.